Kuda, Gummo, Tati, Dummy Boy, and Gooba. All very popular, charting, platinum Tekashi 6ix9ine singles that I don't know. Blick 40. No. Welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with yet another struggle review, here to discuss the brand new Hulu Tekashi 6ix9ine documentary, The Saga of Daniel Hernandez Jr. Now, this is an unauthorized documentary. I was not all too familiar with the story of Tekashi 6ix9ine and his career prior to this documentary. Of course, I know who he is. He's very hard to miss, but I'm not a fan. The music is just not my bag. What do I think about this documentary? Its styling, the clout chasing, the credibility of the documentary because it is unauthorized, Generation Z rappers, and should you watch it or not? Before we get into that, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a blicka moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss all things Tekashi. Fuck, I am getting so old. Does a very good job of showing us, the audience, just how he got from Daniel Hernandez Jr. to the current Tekashi 6ix9ine that we see today. Not only do we get to see things like his background and his upbringing, but we also get deep intel into him creating the alter ego of Tekashi 6ix9ine, him going viral, him doing obscene things for shock value, all the way to him getting R-word charges on him as a teenager, to him getting global recognition and starting to affiliate himself with gang activity, to him being considered a rat in certain communities, to his current court cases and his most recent prison release. Now, I myself, I'm a very, very, very huge hip-hop fan, with my favorite era being the 90s, but I do still have some rappers today who resonate with me, like our Kendrick Lamar's, J. Cole, Tyler, the Creator, Schoolboy Q, Kanye West, so on and so forth, who discuss everything, you know, from sometimes gangster rap, religion, family, all the way to politics. There's a big spectrum. But in the past 5 years, I've seen a different type of rapper emerge. Now, these rappers to me look like old school throwback rock stars. They almost look like a Sid Vicious or a Iggy Pop. Now, this is where the new age Generation Z, SoundCloud, streaming, viral, Tekashi 6ix9ine type of rapper comes along and says, I might not be the best rapper, but I'm going to have so much shock value and so many subliminal type of things in my music, in my videos, talk shit, start beefs, that you're going to notice me. I'm going to get people talking about me. Now, this documentary does a very good job of showing us exactly who Tekashi 6ix9ine is and the smart moves that he made, you know, with going viral and using things like Instagram and Twitter to his advantage, and striving so hard to get out of his neighborhood and get out of, you know, what he considered to be, you know, poverty, but still at the same time surround himself with the wayward elements in this neighborhood, like gang activity and drugs and money laundering and racketeering and things like that, just to gain notoriety on this same Instagram. Now, the documentary has really, really good in-depth interviews from not only people like his daughter's mother, people from the neighborhood, other groups or people who rapped that, you know, were there, you know, to say, I knew you when. They leave, you know, nothing uncovered here. No stone is unturned here. This interviewer spoke to everybody. With this interviewer speaking to everybody, you also get more insight into Tekashi and his mentality as far as being successful and feeling like it's okay to use certain things to his advantage, and feeling like the rap game is a using culture. I'm going to do whatever I need to do with whoever I need to do it with to be successful. If you got a little clout, I'm going to attach myself to you to broaden my brand. And it's interesting to see the way the people giving these interviews once felt about him versus how they currently feel about him after his recent prison release. Now, this documentary also does a very good job of letting us know what it takes to be a successful rapper in this SoundCloud rapper in this climate. And I don't think at this point it should just be isolated to SoundCloud, because we see certain rappers following this same formula, especially rappers who are between, you know, 18 and 25. You see them push really hard to have a strong social media presence, because where, you know, as back in the day it was, you know, what's your talent, what could you do? Whereas now you don't need these things. All you need is a very strong following, so these companies and these producers and executives can see how many numbers you can string for them financially. And with that being said, we continue to see these new Generation Z artists, punk rock artists, punk rap artists push more for, you know, the eye-popping things, the shocking things, the face tattoos, the full body tattoos, the interesting, you know, hair choices, the interesting costume choices, different hair textures, different hair colors, different everything. Like, they just look different. These rappers are really distinguished. And we also see things being more glorified, you know, as far as, you know, gangs and gang culture and just all these things that seem to resonate now with the current teenager that I don't personally understand myself. Now, if you take anything positive away from this documentary about Tekashi 6ix9ine, it's the respect for this young man's hustle. With him being, you know, from the age of 15 all the way to 23, it was nonstop. He believed so much in himself that he pushed himself no matter what, even though he knew he wasn't the best rapper. He wasn't, you know, the best thing. He figured out other ways to market himself and tapped into a market that resonates with today. Now, even though we do see that Tekashi has a very strong mentality and a very strong state of mind as far as where he wants to be as a young man and what he's going to be, you continue to hear him say, I'm going to be a rapper. This is it for me. I'm not going to let, you know, my mom, my upbringing, my lack of a father affect me and stop me from my dreams. This is what I'm going to do. Put the 6ix9ine right on my forehead. No job applications here. But with that strong push, you see him completely change his whole persona. You see more tattoos. You see more of the piercings, more of the hair, the teeth. Simple things that only affected Tekashi. But once we needed a little bit more, the videos got a little bit more obscene. But we see that with him not being allowed to do certain obscene videos anymore after he put himself in a situation to catch a rape charge for having underage sex with a young girl and filming it, he tries to find other ways to expose himself. And that's when we get into the gang life and the gang affiliations, things that he would not have associated himself with if he just wasn't trying to push himself. Not only are we using these current gang members for muscle and protection, we start to send them out and use them as a scare tactic to other rappers, which gains him more exposure. Every time he did an incident, it went viral. We also create a lot of trolling with other rappers, a lot of beefs. Now, I'm from a different era, you know, when you had a beef and you got those good Sheethers and Ethers and Nas and Jay-Z. You got a good Tupac, Biggie, those type of things. But here they just, you know, do a lot of cursing, throw up a lot of gang signs, and fuck this and fuck that, and the beef is over. No good raps come from it, from this trolling. It sucks. But as we see, we used to have rappers who were from a certain way of life, from a certain real gang culture, real drug cultures, and they used hip hop as a way to escape that life. And then they would rap about it and, you know, make references to that old way of life and their current situations, which was usually money and material things that they've acquired through rap. And then they later progress into how much their lifestyle has changed since. But now, you don't have to have lived through any of those things to be considered a liable rapper. Back then, you were considered fake, and you could lose not only your money, you could lose your fan base, your respect. Not here. Everything else is... Now, after watching this documentary in full, I decided that Tekashi 6ix9ine reminded me of a mixture of Vanilla Ice and Eminem. Whereas, if you remember, Vanilla Ice was, you know, completely thrown off as, you know, a fake rapper because he was, you know, supposed to be Miami-based and surrounded himself with different black men and act like, you know, he was a whole hood gangster. Meanwhile, he was from a whole different culture and was not about that life. Whereas we have Eminem, who did, for, you know, his time, do a lot of trolling and a lot of things for shock value. You know, him, you know, with Marilyn Manson's, the VMAs, the obscene videos, all of those type of things that made him more popular. But the difference is he could actually rap. Now, with Tekashi 6ix9ine, is he some rapper from a well-to-do family, from a great upbringing, who's acting like, you know, he has lesser means and surrounding himself with this gang culture and trying to be absolutely something that he is not? No, he is from this area, but he's not a part of these gangs that he is pretending he has kind of solely created for himself. We hear references of Treyway and Scum Gang and all these different things that he's affiliating himself with that he is just putting on camera. And he's not thinking about the repercussions or the responsibility of surrounding himself with these type of people. Now, do I think if he really had these people surrounded, would, you know, anybody actually care for him? I do think so. He has a certain thing that you see in the documentary where people are gravitated towards him. I don't think he necessarily needs to surround himself with these negative gangster scary aspects just to be seen, just to, you know, have notoriety. I think he could have made it without that, but it's kind of... Now, as the documentary progresses and we see the change happening in 6ix9ine, as he realizes, you know, the more viral I am, the more of this persona that I put on, the more streams, the more money, the more notoriety I get. And you see things in these gangs. As far as he's concerned, everything progresses. He not only surrounds himself with gangs, but he surrounds himself with an even stronger gang presence. People who don't mean him any well, in my eyes. But you see, he's kind of like a lost sheep. You get a really good look at him as a little boy here. And you see that he's just a little boy who wants attention. That is mentioned all through, you know, the documentary. Are these men, you know, that are surrounding themselves with him completely innocent? No. We totally see that, you know, they got certain things for being there, whether it was money, notoriety of their own, a little fame, you know, trips, and the whole presence of just being on the team of a Tekashi 6ix9ine. Now, with that being said, and him using certain things for clout or for exposure, you also see that he's made a lot of frenemies in the industry, and he's burnt a lot of bridges that he once had. Because as soon as he sees something that's going to get him more notoriety, he moves on to the next best thing and not think of the people prior that he's used and, you know, use maybe their culture, their popularity, their protection, their, you know, systems, their beats, their whatever. We also see that he wasn't quite ready for the backlash or the responsibilities that came with being associated with a certain type of person. And when the heat comes down from the police departments and things like the FBI, and his career and his life is in jeopardy, he goes about to snitch on everyone in his circle to receive a lesser charge in sentencing. Now, we really get a good look at what it is to be famous and be able to receive, really, really small charges and be giving multiple chances just because you have fame and money. I was like, damn, like this nigga, this dude really getting out? They really let him out. Now, with that, we get a total look at what the new age rapper looks like and how dangerous it is. Now, for the past few years, we have had multiple rappers lose their life because this is such a culture of look at me, look at what I have. Not only have multiple rappers lost their life just because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, but with, the flashy culture and the Instagram culture, we see people, dropping locations, accidentally, alarming the wrong person of where they are, or like a Tekashi 6ix9ine, affiliating themselves with certain gang activities, and when it comes to your doorstep, you don't know quite how to handle it. Or just being affiliated with the wrong person, and that person next to you brings trouble your way. Not only do we have those type of rappers, but we see other rappers who may really be about their life and have that type of lifestyle, but they just can't seem to leave that behind to pursue a true career and be just an artist and not an artist who has a gun. Now, in closing, I do feel that this documentary is worth watching. Not only does it give insight to Tekashi 6ix9ine, but it gives insight to this new rap culture altogether. I did enjoy it. Though it is unauthorized and, he didn't sign off on it, with them including so many, sound bites and different things and dates, like everything in this documentary is laid out to be totally believable. There was never a moment where I felt like this is disingenuous. Do they really know 6ix9ine? No, they know 6ix9ine. It's shot very well. As I said, the man leaves no stone unturned. And just with those sound bites, it kind of confirms everything, not only that the director is saying, but that, the people being interviewed said. Everything is very cohesive. So if you want insight into that, I suggest you watch this. If you have watched this, please drop down and tell me what you thought about it. If you have not, go watch it. It's worth it. I try not to give too much away because I don't do a lot of spoiler-free reviews. I'm hoping this is as spoiler-free as I can get. But I hope you guys enjoyed my review. I hope you come back for another one. I hope you guys subscribe to my channel. I see you guys next time. Bye.